Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for you guys, hopefully for everyone who this resonates with. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jale. We do lives Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. British Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Saturdays we do Ladies Night on Twitch, but I'm going to be adding more days to the Twitch lives. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to wait a few more minutes, wait for people to come in the room, and we will be diving into the reading today. Thank you for your like. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome. I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to slowly move into the room, and then we're going to begin. Okay, so today we've got a few new decks, but the guides have alerted me to some other things going on. It's interesting, and I'm kind of excited about this because it's all fitting together very nicely. Nina, hello, I'm good, thank you, hon. How are you? Hope you're doing very well. So if you haven't followed the lives as per the Lionsgate, hello Karen, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't followed the lives, okay, as per you know, the last 5 or 6 lives, as well as the Lionsgate, where things were sort of slowly coming together. Hello Jen, are you emotional? Are you? Bless you. I hope you're doing well, Jen. Thank you for your help today. This is Jen, our moderator. So things we need to obviously the last couple of lives we've been, well, for a while we've been digging because we've been a bit paused, haven't we? Hello Joanna, hope you're doing well. Hope you're okay. So how confident is everyone with what Spirit have been trying to show them with this whole pause situation? Because if we're not sure what this whole pause situation is and why we were pausing and why we were being shown certain things, the next part of what we're about to go into is not going to help. It's not going to make much sense. So, for example, if the last, I mean, to be honest with you, for the last, at least the beginning part of this year up until now, there would have been a very clear energy of what you're needing to look at, okay? And to be honest with you, it may well have been a cycle from the last 2 or 3 years. Now, if you feel like you're confident about what that was trying to show you, then the next part of what I'm going to go into is going to make more sense. If you're not sure of what that is, it's probably not going to make much sense, because things are moving, guys. And when I say things are moving, there's a little hidden gem here that I'll be really honest with you. So I was sat down today, right, and I've been digging and having a look at the astrology, and I've looked and I'm like face level at sort of glancing at it. Hey Gigi, hope you're doing well. At face value, there's not, I mean, we know that there's Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter and all in retrograde. We know that the North Node has transitioned into Gemini, South Node into Sagittarius. We know the situation that we've got going on, that there's people's lives that are paused. But what is this all about? Okay, so I'll give you an example. So, for example, if you felt like you've been dealing with worthiness issues over the last X amount of months, and that's your key kind of thing to look at, then this is going to be integral for what you're going into. So, for example, if circumstances, situations have been showing you more that you need to focus on self-love, that is going to be your focus, okay? If, for example, the last couple of months sort of, I don't know, theme has been, where has your energy been going, to preserve energy and to put the energy back into you, then that's going to be your central theme. If the theme has been that you're picking the wrong people, then, and you're having to draw your energy back to you and boundaries, then that will be your theme. So, and if you're not sure what that theme is, please use this time to dig. Okay, so where I've been going on and on and on about the same things, the guides were doing that because otherwise you're not going to get the next part of what we're moving into, and then we're going to have to get to that point, and then we're going to have to be going over it again and again because everyone's needing to be aware of what's going on. So they're trying to get everyone in a certain point so they can see what exactly is around them, okay, which makes sense to me logically. Now, I was sat here earlier and I'm thinking there's more to this. And do you remember when I said about how I did the moon water? And there was that energy of the north, that there was this queen of the north, okay? And I'm thinking, right, great, who are you though? Because I've never connected with you before, and what are you trying to show me? Now, if you look at the theme of Aquarius, okay, the theme of Aquarius is a humanitarian energy, and it's also future orientated, okay? But also with the north, you're talking about Polaris, which is the North Star. Now, don't forget, we had the Seven Sisters, the Palladian lineup. Do you remember we had the 7 stars linking in with Venus? We had that. Then we had the eclipses, okay? Then we had the Lion's Gate. Then we had obviously this full moon, but we've had a lot of planetary shifts around May through to now, right? And then obviously with all the other kind of retrograde planets that we've had, that is obviously kind of pausing a lot of energy, all right? And do you remember when I said ages ago, I said there's a pause and there's a slingshot, and then we'll be transitioning very quickly forward. I said that in the last live as well. Oh, and just in case anyone forgets, we did a reading on Saturday about Donald Trump, and I gave the date of the 12th. There was an incident on the 10th where there was a shooting outside the White House. That was the incident I was referring to. So if anyone remembers the details of that, where I said there's going to be an incident reported and it's not quite right, my bad, I said the 12th, but it was the 10th that was reported, so I was 2 days out. That was the falsified information, okay? There's more to come with that. It's political, all right? But just moving on to back onto this, because I wanted to say that at the beginning, but I totally forgot. Yeah, there's so much more to this, but my guides really don't want me touching that with a barge pole. It's a go it. If I jump into that, what's the benefit? What's the benefit of that to everyone? Because it's like, great, we know the deal. There's purging going on in the grander scale of things. We know that there's a corrupt energy here that's being slowly like purged out of the system. But what can we physically do about it? So is that a distraction for me? Yeah, because all it's doing is it's just focusing on my ego, isn't it? It's like, yo, I'm right about this prediction. What else does it do for you? Does it help you? So, I mean, I can focus on that, but I mean, in your day-to-day lives, what is the benefit? Until, because this is the thing, I was told a long time ago that I can do prediction type things like that, like prophecy type things like that, and I know I can do that. But what is it doing? What am I helping here? I feel like that's very egoic, like, hey, look at me, I can predict things that are not really going to help the general collective, apart from to warn them before it happens. But what's it doing? I mean, okay, at some point in the future I may get into that, but it won't be on this channel, because I feel like that's a totally different thing. So I'm trying not, again, there's a million other things I could be doing, but at the moment I'm focusing on this. So maybe at some point later down the line we'll do another channel and focus on that stuff, maybe, if the guides are in agreement with it. But at the moment they want me to get everyone aware of the day-to-day, because that's more helpful in their opinion. And there's only one of me. So okay, so going back to what they were saying to me, so essentially there's a lot of falsified information going on, there's a lot of confusion going on, okay? But a part of that is deliberate, very deliberate. When you're not focusing on you and you're focusing externally, it's a very very good way of not focusing on what needs to be dealt with, okay? So this is the thing. Obviously we had the alignment with the North Star, with the South Node, the North Node, and also Venus a few months back. We also had an alignment with the Galactic Center as well. And the Galactic Center obviously manifests our reality. The North Node leads us home. The North Node is our destiny, is our kind of spiritual purpose. The North Star is essentially leading us back home. And the South Node is where we've come from. It's our karmic lessons, okay? Now, at the present moment, the Galactic Center is conjunct the South Node, okay? So the Galactic Center is the manifestation point. The South Node is basically our karma. So with that opposing, obviously, the North Node, which is in conjunction with Polaris still, which is the North Star, we are cleansing and removing karma. This is the stage we're in. So everyone's been paused, and I've been sat repeating myself, yeah, because everyone's supposed to be aware of what this is about, and what this is on a macrocosmic level, on a microcosmic level, what day to day you need to be looking at. So if you, and again, don't forget, we talked about the decision making, where there's a big decision, there's something in the ethers here that we can see, but we need to make a clear decision. That clear decision still stands, because the two decisions are very clear, very, very different, very distinctive, two very different energies. Old life versus new. Do you want to stay? Because this is the thing. What, let's play devil's advocate for a minute and say, I want to stay with the old and see what happens. You're going to be tested again on a grander scale. So if you feel like that test was bad enough, that test is going to come starting in September. And it's going to get harder. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Okay, so I don't know if people have been aware of the sort of discussion around the three-dimensional Earth transitioning into the fourth, fifth dimension, awakening, mass awakenings. This is what it leads up to. This is all the lead up for that, okay? Now, I'm debating whether or not to tell you this next part. I'm debating whether or not to wait to tell you this next bit. They're saying wait. And again, it's probably frustrating that I'm giving the same information, but trust me, you're going to get to September, and if you don't get it, you're going to be like, you know. So let's look more in specifics. This is about you, your path that is distinct. This is about no one else's opinion of you, okay? This is your soul, your journey that you are here to make, okay? So for people that have been discussing about moving away from friendship groups because it doesn't feel in alignment with where they're going, spot on. For people that are talking about branching out into their own, you know, path, you know, moving away from that group and just sort of doing your own thing because you know it's something that you need to do, then spot on. That's the energy. Now, Leo season is that energy. We go into September, and again, it's that systematic building of energy. So we're in the pause still, but we're clearing stuff out. When we hit September, because don't forget, we've got Cupid that goes direct at the end of August. We've got Saturn coming out of retrograde September the 12th. But we've also got another little hidden factor. Oh, I don't know. So if you've been dealing with Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, say in the second house, in your natal second house, then this is going to be about where your energy goes, your money, your physical, you know, it's about moving away from the more physical elements into a more spiritual. So if you're self-reliant on food or other things to kind of ease you, then that would be the main lesson. If it's, say, for example, the 8th house, are you trusting your intuition? Yeah. Where are your is there shared resources? Are you taking resources from other people and you're not utilizing them properly? 11th house, friendship groups. Where do you align yourself? So you need to have a look to see what the house is, because that's essentially where the energy is going to be, but it may also be in alignment with the main themes that you've been seeing. That's a part of the reason we've been in lockdown. Not just, I mean, we're not talking now about the whole control element of this in a physical level that people are placing on us. We're talking on a spiritual level now. Why? Because what you may be saying is, why is spirit allowing this to happen? Why is spirit allowing all what we're saying to happen here? Why is that okay? How is that okay? It's like the same thing when you see children get cancer and people go, well, I can't believe in God because how can God agree to that? Because we're not here to have a holiday. Yeah, okay, some element of it is fun, of course, but there's me getting super serious all of a sudden. But there's an element here of growth, because there's some things we can't understand being in the spiritual world, because when we're in the spiritual world, we don't have ego, we don't have a physical body, so we come here to evolve and learn and experience things And it's about having that balance. And at the moment, the planet on a whole is definitely imbalanced along the more physical, as opposed to the more spiritual. There's no alignment with this, or little to no alignment on a mass, you know, on a whole to that energy. So there has to be a shift, because we're a collective, aren't we? We're fragments of one consciousness, but we're just different identities of that. So we live different experiences. So we have to be, so for example, if you're sat there going, oh my goodness, nothing was working out for me, this is horrible, my love life has been a train wreck. Yes, and I'm sorry to hear that. And trust me when I say this, and I sound very flippant when I say that, but there's so much more waiting for you, that this is just one element of that. And it's not to sort of take away from the fact that that's, oh my goodness, who cares? It's to say that you are on a soul level so much greater than that experience. And that's what this is preparing you for. So be very aware when you're reading the news and you're seeing all this social media. That's, I mean, it's great to have a balance, but this is why I'm not doing solely political predictions, because this is about the spiritual, in my opinion, and the balance, you know. And at the moment, the political arena is a very strong physical manifestation of imbalance, because it's not a fair system. And obviously it's manifested in that way because of what we're collectively moving out of, you know, which obviously needs to happen. Which is why my sole focus is not usually on that. It's more you guys, everyone, us all, so that we are, as a collective, are mastering things that we struggle with. Because then, do you know how strong that makes you as well? Do you know how much of a strong person? Because this is the thing, it's not about pretending you don't have a weakness and just, you know, bluffing it. It's walking into that weakness, embracing it, working and understanding every element of it, then moving through it. It's not pretending it's not there, but we're trying to master this here, because the more strength you have within that area, that builds into our collective energy and light that we can anchor here, which then has a ripple effect. That has a real kind of energetic repercussion. So this is why, for those people who still don't understand me going on and on and on about the same shiz every 3 minutes, this is why there is a method to my madness. There's a method to my madness. And also, just FYI, I usually have quite a lot of other things that I know about, but I'm not going to sit and tell everything, because how is that going to work? Do you want me to? I'm not going to dump information, and I mean, I could do that, would make my time easier, but I don't think it's going to resonate. I think people are going to kind of it's going to confuse. So, and this is not to say I don't trust people, it's just to say that I want to make sure that people are confident with their path. Otherwise, what's the point? Because we can all just sit here and go, you know, the sun is in Leo, yeah, connecting with that childlike energy. But I want to dig, I want to get to the bottom of it all, and then present that so that you guys can decide what you feel resonates and what doesn't. So if I'm saying it's 16 different ways, it's because I want everything to be unrooted in that energy that is not meant to be there in your life, so that you are free and abundant. Because that kind of stagnant energy, when it stays there, blocks the next stage. And this next stage is massive, just FYI. Because you've got to remember there's a balance. If you look at the hermetic laws of the universe and the universal principle of as above, so below, as within, so without, you think they're going to pause the planet and not have anything after that? So when everyone's panicking, I'm sitting here going, I know how this works, because unfortunately I've lived this experience on my own life, where they paused me for 3 years. They paused my life for 3 years. I was in a bed sick. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even stand up, right? Yeah. But I know how this works because of that, in some ways. Okay, I'm not going to sit and be like, I know everything, because that's stupid. But when you're being paused on a mass level, think about it. Okay, you've got a car with a handbrake on, and the car's in neutral, but the engine's still running. This next stage we're going into, we're not going into first gear, we're going straight into we're going first to fourth. So this is why we've got to sit and wait for people to catch up, because you've got to, it's like a train carrying a carriage. It's physics, the law of physics. If I'm not explaining this from A to Z all the way through, then when that carriage moves, people, it's not going to work. Now, this is the thing. Did I know this before? Yes. Did I know this before? Yes. Am I going to sit and explain all of that as well? No. Hello, Astral. Welcome. No, bless your heart. You're fine. Bless your heart. Hope you're doing well. So, Astral, you may want to watch the first part of this, but if not, it's up to you. So, if you're still unsure about what all this means for you, this is probably going to benefit you to dig and look and try and work this out. I'll give you an example of my one so that you can kind of do a comparison, because obviously there's no point me understanding this if I haven't looked at my own. So I have, usually I'm very good at my boundaries, okay, but my problem is, for me, again 100% my weakness is picking the world's worst men. I'm not even gonna lie, I pick the worst men. I have a classic case of rose tinted glasses and I pick the world's worst men. So they present me with the world's worst men and I have to hold myself back. I have to physically hold myself back, because otherwise I'll sit and invest in something that goes against my path, okay? That is my lesson. This is what I'm learning, all right? This is 100% what I'm learning. Am I going to sit here and go, oh, this is an absolute easiest thing? No, because the way they've built me is I've got Venus in Taurus, first of all. So yeah, that's my personal lesson. Now, obviously, my Capricorn is in second house. So my investment of energy I have to review, because this is all one and the same thing. Okay, this is one and the same thing. So where does your energy need to go? Okay, now, this is the thing. This is the clincher. There is an alignment coming up that is transitioning through September, October, November, okay, which we're ripping up the rule book. We're ripping with this combination of planets and the alignment. The rule book is being ripped up. Now, the energy of what this whole thing is at the moment is a pause and a removal of anything karmic, okay, and a re-collaboration, a kind of configuration of what you want out of your life, okay, and an addressing of that, okay. When we move forward, they are going to 1000% put other obstacles in your path to see if you've learned this, because this is, again, what they're showing me. But in the interim, let's pull some tarot to get sort of further understanding of what exactly is going on here. So, because I don't want to jump too far ahead, because there's no point really. So I got the Tarot of the Heart. This is only Major Arcana deck. I thought that was quite interesting to have just Major Arcanas and see how that would come out in a reading. And then I got the Divine Doors Oracle, which is literally just doorways into other energies. So it says, behind every door lies adventure, mystery, and inspiration. And it says, behind the door, all questions reside. Turn the handle and step inside. Intuitive guidance is your natural call. Lay out the cards or let them fall. Close your eyes and open your heart. The mystery is a form of art. Hold a question dear to mind. Turn the page to see what you find. Right, so let's go. Let's see what information Spirit have. There's no way I'm going to be able to shuffle these cards. Look how small they are. I thought they were so cute. But look, can you see their little doorways? I like that idea. And I don't know why, but for some reason at some point I was really into photographs of doorways. I don't know why. I'm a bit weird. Right, let's have a look. What is the messages here for this? Wow. Okay, so this is the doorway. This is the doorway. Can you see the light? The light is shining through this. This is a promise. Do you remember when I was speaking about that energy of there was something distracting us, or something to our right hand side here that was a doorway that was slightly ajar, that had that light, and because you were looking in that direction it wasn't quite apparent. This is what you're going to be slowly moving into. Okay, now the light is awareness, it's truth, this is the future. I don't know why I wanted to say it like that. There's something about that. I mean, Aquarius is very much about the future. So it says, a cure for longing. Love is happiness, a spark inside. Live deliberately and choose boldly. Then you have arrived. Okay. So this next part of the journey is 1000% not for the faint-hearted. This is, I'm not even going to lie. There's, I'm just going to tell you what I know. I'm just going to fucking tell you. Okay. So as we move into September, there's an interesting alignment here that's happening around the September time. Okay. What's going to be happening is there's a little planet, asteroid, let's say, called Destiny, which is also fate, that is going to be coming into alignment with the South Node and the Galactic Center. But the Galactic Center is going to be in the reverse. It's going to be in retrograde, right? Now, that is going to be opposing the North Star conjunction the North Node. So do you see now, and maybe I need to break this down, why we're being prepared? Because if you're talking about fate, there's going to be things presented here with this energy that if you haven't, because don't forget Saturn, the South Node is your karmic past, and it's also the path that you're most used to walking. So if you haven't really recalibrated that and you've got destiny at your doorstep, are you going to be trying the tried and tested, or are you going to be taking the leap of faith? That Polaris, that North Star that's conjunction with your soul's mission. Because the North Star is going to be lighting the way up. But the South Node with destiny and fate, can you see that it looks like a very sturdy door? It also looks like a security door. So this is moving out of your security. Are you brave though? Love is happiness, a spark inside. Live deliberately and choose boldly. Then you have arrived. This message, there is so much other energy, and it's not just any one thing in your life. I'll be honest with you, if there was a defining moment within the run up to this, within what you're learning, with what you've experienced, then this would be the defining moment. So if you cast your mind back, we are 3 days away. The 15th of August 2019, exactly 3 days time, I started this channel, and one of the first messages was about the rainbows, about the prism of light and the shifting of light and energy. Okay, and I predicted it for March, April of this year. Then COVID hit, and then we saw rainbows all around the UK, and everyone was talking about rainbows, right? And the rainbows turned up in the cards because, again, the alignment of the 7 chakras, the alignment of the light that we're channeling, we're vessels, we're the prism. So the light, the sun, refracting through ourselves, we are the anchors. We're being upgraded based on everything, not just the circumstances, but the planetary shifts, as above, so below. Okay. This is the run up to that. This whole message has been running for a year. Okay. Now, if you haven't already worked that out, and the themes in the readings and the themes of the astrological readings and the progression from the Aries up to Pisces, then that's it. That's what was going on. Then in 3 days time, thanks Jen, in 3 days time, we focus on this next stage. Did I know this when I started? Absolutely not. I just listened to them, but they've been showing me little bits and pieces, which is why I've been doing this in increments. And obviously since the lockdown, I was doing lives because of that reason. The door, the steel door. This is a steel door. Can you hear through this door? Possibly not. Can you look through this door? No, not possibly not. Okay, but can you look? There's a sense of something here. There's a sense. Can you see? There's a jaw. The door is slightly ajar. There's an opportunity. Okay, now This is regarding the leap of faith. It says a cure for longing. So this is for the people who have thank you for your likes, by the way, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who's liked. So for everyone who feels like they are not 1000% in alignment in their path here, these messages are for you. For everyone who's still undecided about what they're here to do, this message is for you. Okay. For those who aren't 100% sure about what they're doing, these messages are for you, and we're all in that boat from where I'm looking. It's not just, you know, this is the collective at the moment. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of misinformation. Don't forget, Gemini North Node is about information. This is about information gathering. Okay. Now, if you look, the South Node is very much in Sagittarius, which is very much about moving away from religion. Now, I'm not disrespecting religion. Again, for me, my opinion on religion is it's a starting point to the connection you have with upstairs. It's an entry point so that you can understand the messages that are coming through, because it's very symbolic. Every religious text is extraordinarily insightful, and there's truth in it. There's 100%. You just got to understand what that is explaining. Okay, in my opinion. Again, feel free to follow your own path here. This is a cure for longing. This is what we're being offered as a humanitarian effort. Okay, so for those who have sat and have gone upstairs and said, guys, I don't understand what this is about. I don't fit in. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what to do next. I don't know. I don't fit in with anyone here. I don't have a partnership with anyone here. I don't understand what I'm here to do. This is their answer. This is their answer. This is their gift. Okay. Now, you might sit there and think, well, this is actually not a gift. This is really not a gift. First of all, the gratitude is extremely important in this pathway. Otherwise, you're probably going to sit here and it's going to be very difficult. A sense of humor can help as well, 100%. Okay. But to get to this next point, it involves awareness and a little effort on your part. But the efforts that will be returned, let's have a look. Let's see what's at stake here. Let's see what is at stake here with this energy. So you may sit here and go, well, I don't know if I want to invest in this. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Now, first of all, personally, I wouldn't be looking at it that way. I mean, that's entirely up to you if you feel like you need to look at it in that way. But for me, the perspective shift is something that is taking place. The devil and the moon. The devil and the moon. Okay? Can you see here? This is the devil, and we've got the moon here. Now, please don't be offended, Capricorns, but Capricorn is associated with the devil card. We have 3 planets. We have a stellium in Capricorn at the moment with Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, that has been in retrograde for a while now. At one point, we had 6 planets in retrograde at the first part of the year, and it was horrific. Okay, this is unearthing every subconscious limitation you've got and being released. So if you feel like it's hard work, it's because you are doing a lot, whether or not you're aware of it or not. So all of these headaches, these little niggles, these earaches, these uncertainties, these, you know, the mirroring, the people, abusive people, rude people, you know, shameless people that you're observing, everything that you've been observing, this is bringing everything up. You've got to remember, we're being incarnated on a planet here that has gone through 3, well, no, whoa, no, we don't want to say that. One sec before I continue that, because my words, I've got to be careful. I can manifest very easily. So let me just, we're not getting into that energy at all. Someone's trying to get me to manifest something here, and I'm not about to. So let's be a bit clever about this. Let's get some protection incense, because ain't no one going to start manifesting that. Okay, let's have a look. By the way, guys, the noise you can hear is my fan. We're in the middle of a heat wave. It is unbelievably hot here. I will be honest with you, the fan is doing absolutely nothing. So if I start melting into my chair, you basically know what the deal is. It is, I love my heat because I'm half Turkish, and I don't know what it is about heat, but sometimes I do love it. But when I'm channeling, it's not the one. Just being honest. So excuse me while I light the incense. We have to make sure the energy is right. Okay, thank you so much for bearing with me. Little sip of drink. The moon, the subconscious. Okay, so we've had 2 world wars, right? We've had 2 world wars, and we just had the anniversary of Hiroshima. We've just had the anniversary of Hiroshima. I don't want to have to. You've got to remember that energy. That's a lot to purge. And when we're coming into Earth, we're essentially responsible for purging that as a collective. Okay. Now, if you look at the periodic history of everything, there's been look, you've got the caste system that started around England, and how all of the everything was developed from that. Chiron was actually currently in Aries when that actually started. So how the social system, the caste system was developed 1066 in England was around the time when Aries transitioned back into Chiron and started a new cycle. That Chiron cycle started in April of this year. So you're talking about like 1,000-year cycle or more. And actually this alignment we've got coming up, and actually the alignments we've had for the last couple of months, has never been seen on Earth. Not in Atlantean days, not in any of the previous energies that we've had here, has never been seen. So for you guys that have incarnated here, it's a massive role that you're undertaking right now. Because especially if you're watching this channel, there's a definite reason that you're here. Now that sounds really bad the way I've just said that. Like, oh yeah, only the people watching this channel are, no. It just means that over the next 3 years, you are going to be becoming a lot more aware. Thank you, Astral. I love your posts on Facebook. You're a breath of fresh air on my wall. Thank you. I appreciate you. There is so much more to come here, okay? Because what this is really about is your own inner magic that you are being kept away from by a physical hierarchy that is designed, and it's not, it's designed in part to you to forget who you are. It is designed in part. So when you're hearing me talk, fight and talk, and I'm pushing through, I have to, because listen, if I didn't do this, I would not be, number one, I wouldn't even be doing this job. I wouldn't even be doing a reading. I would be still back in the first experience I had, my first near-death experience I had, which I had at the age of 5, when I was in the middle of a riot and the houses were being firebombed around me. Okay, so I've had 4 near-death experiences. You've got to remember there's a reason. Hello, Kate. I hope you're doing well, love. You might want to watch the beginning part of this, because there's a lot of information we've gone into about what all this means, what we've moved out of, what we're moving into. Just an FYI, it's up to you though, your choice. You go with what resonates. So what does that mean for you guys? So first of all, self-awareness around the whole, what the lessons have been showing you, where this has been leading. For example, when you found my channel, what were you asking at that point in time? Because my job, I'm obviously in the physical world, I'm self-employed, but I work for spirit. I've dedicated my life, and will continue to dedicate my life to these guys, because these guys have never led me wrong. Now, obviously, I'm not saying you have to all sit and dedicate your life to spirit, and that's what you need to do. That would be, I'd be surprised if that was everyone's path. But what I'm saying is that there's a focus here that is so much deeper than what we've been used to, that is coming into our awareness, and that it's been brought in. The light that's shining in on this planet at the moment is preparing us for a higher sense of awareness, a larger perspective. And from where I'm listening to what they're saying to me, this is my job to help me, help everyone to understand a little, maybe 1% of this, because there's so much more to this. And to sit and explain it all, thank you for your lights, guys, by the way. To sit and explain it all, I would be doing lives forever. So the subconscious, it's the ancestral patterns, it's the planetary karma, ancestral karma, planetary karma, Sandalphon, universal, what we've come, you know, in terms of our parallel lives, in our starseed incarnation, Metatron, okay, that vertical alignment that we have, and the channeling we received, and the energy we're purging, we're constantly kind of a recycling point, essentially. And then we've got the vertical points, which is the, you know, the north, south, east, and west, the archangels that hold those points. Yeah. So we've got our timing, our physical, the physicality of it. So our generational karma, our earth karma, we're shifting all of that. So when you're seeing the Schumann resonance and it's got all these lines and these kind of entry points, it's, and our bodies are kind of working through it and purging. Again, it's preparing us. So the devil, the moon, Capricorn, Pisces, Capricorn, Cancer. I mean, you could actually look at this as being the tree of life, because again, that would be the vertical planes, the tree of life. Okay, so the tree of life is featured. When I bought this canvas, I didn't even think consciously that would be one of the main themes. But yes, the tree of life, Sandalphon, Metatron is one of the major themes that we've been talking about. And actually, we've just come out of Capricorn North Node, Cancer South Node, which is when I started this channel. So the theme that we're walking into is Gemini Sagittarius. So let's have a look at the card, the cards. Let's see what else they want to tell us here. Again, lots of sturdy doors, and we're looking up. We're looking up, okay? Now, I think it's because I like architecture, and I used to get, when I did art school, I used to draw architecture a lot. I used to love drawing these kind of things. The gargoyles, okay? The entry points, your boundaries. All right, it says freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reason. So again, galactic center is the galactic center is the birthing of all things in the universe. And because our south node is conjunct that at the moment, we are essentially in a bit of a pause point here. So be very aware of what you're manifesting. Because as I say, when we get into this destiny point that's going to come through around the September point, it's going to be in conjunction with the galactic center in the reverse, with our south node, okay? Then as you get into the October time, it's going to be moving into the sign of Capricorn, which is fate, okay? Now, we're going to look at that later down the line, because otherwise, if I start going too much ahead, then it's not going to, I don't want to be the person that sat there going, timings, let's wish our life away, and then we jump into this point and then worry about it. I don't want to do that. I want to keep a mindful awareness on this, on the channelings, because otherwise, wishing your life away is not the message here. We deal with the energy at hand. The reason I'm going into this is to set the tone of what's to come, because there's been questions about, well, you keep repeating the same things. Yes, I do. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I have to get the message up, and I don't know what else to say. It's not my decision to sit and go to the guards, yeah, man, why is this going on? Because this is the thing. Number one, they're going to turn around and be like, who the heck do you know? I think you need to calm down a little bit. And also, that's not the energy behind this. This is not a race. We're not, what did I say at the beginning of lockdown? What did I say? I said, this is a marathon, not a race. This is a marathon. To come into your own sovereignty and to your own inner alignment on your soul path, there is a method in the madness. You flow with the universe. The universal flow is not here to trick you up. It's here to help you. We work with that. We have the key to open the door. That's the message. That's always been the message. Now, okay, macrocosmic, that's a larger scale of things. So how does it relate to you here? What is around you at the moment? What are you integrating around, or what are you around in terms of people, places, things, jobs, okay? Your time, where do you spend your time? Do you have fulfillment? Is there a balance in that? Is there equal give and take? Do you enjoy your time that you spend with people? Do you feel like you are reciprocated in energy? Do you feel like the people around you recognize you? If you are saying no to any of these things, that would be the focus. Do you have your boundaries in place? Are people walking over you? Do you feel used? This will be the time to focus on that. Do you feel like you have self-love? Do you practice self-care? These are all the kind of things. Specifically, the self-love thing is the thing that we need to really look at, in my opinion. And again, feel free to interpret whatever you feel is, you know, needed around that. But let's jump into the tarot, guys. Let's jump into the tarot. We're going to go with, of course, we're talking about the Hermetic principles. Then we need to have the Hermetic tarot, of course. Let's have a look what the other messages are. Okay, so Spirit, we are listening. I didn't hear that. There's going to be a mass opening of information coming out everywhere. There's going to be misinformation as well. There's going to be 90% open information, 10% lies. That is also going to kickstart around this time, which is even more reason why we need to get straight now. Hello, Lo. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So it may well be that you may well see me opening a new channel with all my predictions to get myself in trouble with and get banned on YouTube. May well be. You may well be seeing that, because this is the thing. If there's misinformation, do you remember the 5G thing that was happening a while back? FYI, they tag everything that I mention when I say stuff like that here, so I can't say that a lot. Otherwise, what they'll do is they'll change the Astral Messenger. You're empathic, but believe you me, this is going to get to a point where, I mean, you are. I can see your posts. I know you can read between the lines, but many people struggle with that still. Especially if they're, I feel like you're like me. You have a lot of alone time because you know that that's the key to all this, where you're regrouping with upstairs. That is also my recommendation if no one else does that, because, and I get it, if you've got kids and you've got a very busy life, but that is the energy we're needing to balance a little bit here. Because not many people are going to struggle with this. People are going to struggle with this. Right, let's see. What are the messages here? What are the messages? Interesting. You have the key to your own mind here. 8 of Swords. There's a mental, you've got to remember the freedom we have in our mind. Okay, so I did Big Brother in 2014, and I was locked in a house with 60 other people with no phone, no internet, no nothing for 5 weeks. Okay, I had someone sharing the bed with me. They took my cigarettes away because I was a smoker at the time. They took food away from me. I lost 5 stone. They locked me in rooms with people that really didn't get on with me and was threatening me, and they basically tried to break me down. Okay. Yes, I was an idiot for doing that, but your mind in that situation is the most important tool you have, because you're free. You can astral travel, you can do what you need to do, okay? It's the same now. It's the same now, okay? Your mind is your friend. Okay, now if you at the moment are struggling mentally, let's say, with overcoming certain obstacles, maybe I don't know, codependent behaviors, addictions, this is why, again, 6 months ago they were like, you need to stop smoking, because we've got to, and it's mainly because of my path. I'm not saying everyone has to do that now, I mean, it's up to you, but what we're about to get into here is needing our minds to be in alignment. Okay, and that's not focusing on the ego where, you know, we instinctively need something that benefits us. I'm talking about reading the truth of a situation without the mind interfering with that, okay, or the mind blocking something. We have to be free. Can you see here the Eight of Swords? This is mental entrapment, okay? This is mental confusion, all right? Can you see all the swords that are covering? Look, and this looks like a rainbow as well. Can you see? But it's covering that flower. It's covering, the flower would be the blooming, that new energy, that kind of spring-like innocence, but it's covering it. They don't, you've got to remember, this is a race for people to awaken without interference. This is what a lot of the misinformation is about. We've also had the Two of Swords come out exactly like this. Now the Two of Swords upright is a pause. Two of Swords upright would be a removal of that pause. This is what they're going to aim to do. They want to create, there's a confusion energy that's coming. Okay, now this is not about, oh my goodness, let's go all get worried about this. No, because look, the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. This is emotional fulfillment. This is to lead us into what is ours. Okay, this is not about fear mongering or making people panic. This is alerting people to what is potentially going to happen so that people are aware. Okay, now you've got to remember, with this fate alignment, this destined alignment that's coming into fruition around the September, October time, and then it's actually transitioning through Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter as we're getting into the later stages, running up to the last eclipse in December. And can I just say, December 20th is going to be huge. There is absolutely huge things coming in December in a positive way, because what it's doing is it's pinpointing. Now, how many of you walked into this year knowing something big was happening? I knew, because my New Year's Eve every year shows me the next year. The New Year's Eve I had this year, I watched a reading on YouTube. The woman told me my mum was going to die, and I spent the whole evening crying. Because I was convinced that something was going to happen. And I was like, no, this is not the manifestation. No, I spent a lot of time asking my guides to, if, you know, as much as I respect the rules of nature and the universal order, please, if I have one request, if that is the case and that is the fate, please don't let it be hard or horrible. That is my one wish. I spent the whole night worrying about it. And then I looked back and thought, this is not normal. That's not my usual New Year's Eve. That's not usually what I do with my New Year's Eve. A few years back, I had a phone stolen from me. And then the whole of that year, my money was like, I was backstabbed, ripped off, had money stolen, things stolen, people backstabbing. It was ridiculous. So this sets the tone, but the pinpoint around the December period, one thing I'll say about that is that we are about 6 years out. We're about 6 years out. This is based on the Gregorian calendar, and actually it's based on the Bible, and it was done deliberately. And the reason I know that is because I started the channel and I analysed, when I was stuck in a bed for 3 years, the Revelations and some of the Genesis as well. And then I read the whole Bible, and then I started going on to the Quran, because they were like, this is what you need to read. And so I read that. Usually I get my information direct, but they wanted me to read that. And so I did. We're about 6 years out. So this is kind of the 2018 is the 2012 from where I'm looking at. But even the dates of that, 2012, has been that you've got to remember, time is an illusion, energy is fluid. But there's about 6 months, 6 years. We're about 6 years out. Okay. Now 2024 is going to be the time when this is a distant memory. The fight for information, the struggle for information. Information is going to be a commodity. Information is going to be a commodity. So it's very important who you're around. Do you see where this is leading? It's really important what you're around, who you're around, what you're doing, what you're spending your time. This is where it's leading us. This is emotional fulfillment on all levels. This is emotional. Can you see the Lord of perfected success? This is our soul path. If you're clear with you, then your environment is also clear. If your focus is on you, your environment will be as above, so below, the Hermetic principles. Yes, again, that was another book they asked me to read. Right, that flew across the room. Where are we going here? Okay. So so the twin flame journey that I've been discussing was the journey to come home to yourself and to have an equal to mirror that energy. Okay. Two of Cups, the masculine and feminine meeting, the Lord of Love. Okay, this is self-love, this is self-actualization, this is the masculine and feminine meeting, the dark and the light meeting, merging to then attract the same. Okay, this is what this is leading up to. But it's like, can you see here? You've got the whale here. We've had the whale a few times, haven't we? We've had the whale. Look, it's actually in a pod. Or is that the word for a group of whales? Pod. I know that's the word for dolphins, but you've got a whale here with the younger offspring. So there's a generational shift here around our younger generation, not just the ones that have been born in, but the younger ones that I want to say maybe even just after 2000, that have a different level of awareness. Now, this is going to be really important. Your children may even start giving you information. This is going to sound insane, but you may get children telling you little things that they're getting in their dreams. Maybe you're already seeing that. Now it's up to you. You deal with your children however you see fit, right? But my recommendation is to encourage that, because it means that they're aware of something on a different level, and that's the energy they're going to be walking into. And if they're ready and comfortable processing that, and they're used to doing it, then them choosing what path they're taking in their life is going to be a piece of cake. There's a gap here from, I want to say, the mid-50s up until 2000, where there was a block, there was a fear energy, and I feel like it was very much the age of Pisces that we were in, which was that lack focus. And again, it's we've got to be careful. Again, it's the war. You know, my mum was born 9 years after the Second World War. You know, my grandfather fought in the Second World War. So there's that mentality of, Joanna, yeah. This is going to get more and more, and the dreams are going to get more and more. The sleep is going to get more involved. I'm being shown drawings, so they may want to do that via pictures. But these guys are very switched on, and it's actually, this is what I used to do as a child. Yeah. My mum's very gifted and my dad's very gifted. They don't use it though. They don't use it. My mum, they do use it to the point where they're like private detectives. And there was like my dad, when he used to catch me smoking, he would be, I don't know, it was like he was telepathic basically. And he used to turn up at my sister's flat when she had a boy round, And she used to try and get the boy to jump out the window, because there's no way if my dad had caught that, that would have been game over. So can you see the hand? The hand's got the lotus leaf. We've had that coming up a lot as well. The lotus leaf is born of the silt. Takes a long time to emerge and grow. I mean, to be honest with you, my dad was exactly the same, but I did a healing on him, and that whole, never has he ever spoken about it again. Because he said to me, I'm either an extremely gifted con artist or I'm an angel. But that's my dad for you. My mum is terrified of what I do. Absolutely terrified. Because she's very gifted, but she shut it down, which I understand. The lotus leaf or the lotus flower was born from the silt on the bottom of the bed, the river bed or the ocean bed. Okay, usually a river, lake. It's taken a while, and it grows through the mud, dirt. Okay, and then when it's ready, it floats upwards and blooms. And we've had this message a lot about when it's ripe for the picking. When it's ready, the flower is picked. Okay. This is us becoming ready. This is us coming into alignment with the aid of ancestors. What kind? This is also Cancerian energy, which is influences from the mother and father. This is generational. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to, again, the timeline shifts that we've been seeing as well, is to fix this whole block. This whole block. Now, I'll be really honest with you. I don't know anyone else that has my family background that has disconnected so far from it to do this full time. I don't know anyone else like that. And if you know someone else like that, tag them in this. You know what I mean? Because I'd love to meet them. Because I have to fight for my voice. I've had to fight for it and my life. This energy is what's shifting. So that when the new kind of, again, the younger generation, the children that are either here or are about to come in, people don't have to fight to be heard. They don't have to be sat with a PowerPoint presentation going, this is why I'm doing it, you know? That hard work is over. This is done. So if anyone is doubting the spiritual path, oh, what healing do I do? Where do I begin? Okay, let's summarize this. I'm a catalyst. So I will scan the body and remove blocks and put things to be where they need to go. Sometimes a little bit too effectively. It's, put it this way, I've tried my hand at many different things healing, and if you want to, I mean, look, by all means, Astro, I was about to use your name that I know you on Facebook as. If you want to see, this is where it gets ridiculous, because don't set me a challenge, because I'll sit there and do it, you know. I have done fertility treatments and realized that this is definitely not my place. I have worked with a child who was in hospital, who the doctors didn't have an answer for what was going on. I have worked with that child, and the child recovered within 24 hours. I can usually scan and see on different layers what exactly is going on and fix it. Do I tend to do that at the moment? Absolutely not, because yeah, I didn't know if that was your real name or not, and I didn't want to sit there and dox you on the internet, you know what I mean? But hi, Mark. Again, a lot of times people are a bit careful with that on YouTube. So again, especially with the spiritual community, they're not entirely happy sometimes with me saying their real name. So I want to double check out of respect. So because we're in a pause period, I paused my healings because we need the mental plane here to come in. There's no point in me moving all this and then the conscious awareness isn't in alignment with what I'm removing. Once this starts back up, I will be probably doing my healings again. But at the moment, this is the focus. I shift. I mean, to be honest with you, that was what I was given. My last gift was that. And that was given 3 years ago before I got very ill. And actually, that was what got me out of bed, the healing. So yeah, I'm very odd. I'm very odd. Okay, so 8 of Swords, 2 of Swords. There's a fight against the information here. Okay, the alignment with the selves is coming into play, and it's about the alignment of everything that ever has been or will be, and moving forward into a more free energy that is welcoming a new energy onto the planet, because we've shifted a lot. There's an energy where we're rebalancing what has been and what will be. Okay, this is based on this alignment I spoke about earlier. Interesting. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. Okay, let me be honest with you. If you've had a gut instinct of, okay, let's be realistic. Let's start with this one. 4 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. What in your life have you invested into that has left you feeling like you're being left out in the cold? Feeling like you're not getting enough back, or there's an imbalance of energetic exchange? Because this is what this is ironing out, because this energy will fix that as well. Because when you're coming into alignment with you, there's a mirror. All right, if you've had a hard path, and let's say, for example, this last couple of months you've stuck to your guns and you've kept going and you've honored your path, this is a huge reward coming into you. A marriage? I mean, if that's what you're seeing in these cards, then that's what you're seeing with these cards. I'm seeing it on a different level. Because ain't no one even focusing on that. Ain't no one even focusing on that right now. That's give it maybe 5 years, then maybe that will be the focus that they're looking at. They're saying or sooner. This is the Lord of Waves and Waters, which is in the reverse. Okay, so there's an emotional purging. This is about material comfort, rebalancing material comfort, whether or not that's benefiting you or not benefiting you. Where do you invest in yourself? Where do you invest in yourself? Where do you see your investment? This is about, they're talking about future investments, not just with money, with energy and everything else. Right, let's pull some more cards from this door deck and then we'll wrap this reading up, because I'm actually melting. And thank you, Spirit. Okay, so we've got the door that's open again with the padlocks. So the padlock's still on the door. It looks very sturdy. We've got a little, can you see there's a little mark, there's a sign there. Look for the sign. Look for the sign. Okay, because you are being shown certain things at the moment. And thank you to Spirit for confirming, but this is what the card says, the sacred lotus. So we're getting mirroring here with the cards. It says, compassion in action, the chosen tool. I now see the lotus in spirit's jewel. Okay, guys, this is your reading for today. Thank you so much for your like, your shares, and your subscriptions. It means a lot to me. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Uploaded today will be Leo's reading. I'm going to be doing more readings on Twitch. So make sure if you haven't followed, the information is in the description box below. Yeah, until next time, guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your likes. Thank you, Jen, for your help today. I hope you're all going to have a wonderful day. Until next time, take care.